I pray that this message finds who it's meant to find. So, we're going to talk about your mother. So, this is a very tough pill to swallow, but I really hope that this brings closure to you. When it starts to trigger you, just take a deep breath, just breathe, and comfort yourself as you hear this truth. Because it's going to be very uncomfortable. But the truth hurts, but the truth does set you free. So, your mother honestly she never wanted you. She wasn't really happy when she found out that she was pregnant with you. For some, she considered aborting you. Um, some she didn't. But the reason why you're here is because you're meant to be here, of course. But it's like when she was pregnant with you, it was like she was convinced by someone else or by other people to keep you, to not terminate her pregnancy. And she pretty much had you by default. She had you out of obligation, but she did not have you because she actually wanted you. You she didn't even know like what you were going to be. She didn't know if you were going to be a girl or if you were going to be a boy. She just knew like, damn it, I'm pregnant and I don't want to be pregnant. I don't want another child. And you probably can recall conversations that you overheard her say while you were a child, where she's actually admitted this out of her mouth, where she said, well, I did think about getting an abortion, or I really didn't want any more children, but I had my child anyway. And she may have even said something like that your father wanted you. Your father wanted you to be born or whatever. And with that piece of information, like your father wanted you, there's meanings behind that. By her saying that your father wanted you is her saying that she did not want you. And by her saying like your father wanted you made her feel like your father was choosing you over her in a way. That's kind of like part of it, but also I feel that, okay, it's a lot of energy, so it's not everything's going to resonate, but I also feel that it's like a very confusing time, because part of it is that your dad, like, really the whole thing about she has said like, oh, your father wanted you, but really it wasn't that the father wanted you either. It was that your father didn't want your mom to terminate her pregnancy with you. Your father thought like the more kids the merrier. And yeah. But okay, another thing is that your father could have been very abusive to your mother while she was pregnant with you. And I'm even overhearing your father's voice, like a male's voice, saying that, and then you went and then got pregnant again, as if the pregnancy, as if there was like there wasn't two to tango. So basically it's like, I mean, these are your biological parents, and they're trying to like make it seem like it's your mother's fault that she got pregnant, when it's the father's equally at fault here, because the mother couldn't get pregnant on herself. She needed to have a fertilized egg, and how could she get the fertilized egg? Through your father. So it's giving like neither one of your parents wanted you. Neither one of them wanted you to be born, like wanted to get pregnant. Neither one of them really wanted you. And it's kind of like your mother didn't want you, and your father blamed your mother for getting pregnant, blamed your mother for like having you. And basically your mother has grown up resenting you because she's like, I didn't even really want this child in the first place. And she thought that, like, a part of her thought that, like, once you came along, once you were born, that this was going to, help bring the family, like, help bring, not the family, but help, like, if your parents were married, she thought that that was going to, like, help their marriage. It was going to help them stay together and that they were going to be with each other and everything. But when it didn't really help their marriage, and it kind of like when you came when you came along, like, basically there was a lot of arguing, there was a lot of fighting, and in ways that your father wanted to make your mother feel bad was by saying, like, and then you done went and got pregnant again, and now you got another child here, and now we got two babies to take care of. Or for some of you, like, if you were born like back to back right after like right after another sibling. But not that it was only two of you, because there could be multiple siblings, but just take it as it resonates. But basically, like, your mother has resented you because, one, she did not want you. She didn't want you to be born. And then when your dad was blaming her for getting pregnant, abusing her during her pregnancy, and just making her feel so guilty and making her feel so bad for having you, that your mother grew up resenting you because she feels like you're the cause for your dad abusing her even more. And the thing is, like, if your dad was already abusive to begin with, and they already had these issues, but when you came along, she wasn't basically seeing how, like, it wasn't you that caused the problems were already existing, but your father used that as a way to come at her and to come against her and to gaslight her, to make her feel inadequate, like, this is what narcissists do. Like, they say, yeah, like, it's very confusing. Like, no, have the child, I want the child. And then once the child gets here, why do we have this child anyway? Why do you have this child here? It's a very confusing time. For some of you, your child, like, your mother may have even tried to get rid of you while you were younger. This could have been when you were very young, and you probably can remember some moments, but there was a moment where, like, your mother thought that if she were to get rid of you, that the problems would stop, that your father would stop blaming her, your father would stop abusing her. And she thought that if she was to just kind of get rid of you and something were to happen to you and she doesn't know what happened and you just ended up getting missing or getting snatched up, everyone was just going to go on about their life, and you were just going to be gone somewhere, either kidnapped, unalived, missing. They never recovered, never found your body. You would just be like a lost cause, and everyone was just going to, like, go on about their life, was thinking that this was going to, like, help her marriage, help her family, help herself to not be abused. But because you are divinely protected, anytime she tried to get rid of you, it didn't happen. It didn't follow through because you were so protected. That's another reason why she resents you, because it's like, why are you still here when I really wanted to get rid of you? Or if there was a time where, like, maybe there was a plan, like your parents were planning to get rid of you and your father may have forced your mom to do something. You all left the house and your father was expecting your mother to be the only one that came back. But when both of you came back to the house, and it's kind of like you didn't finish the job type of thing. So just growing up, this is exactly why your mother has mistreated you and abused you and not favored you, because she's just so resentful at the fact that she never wanted you to begin with, and the fact that you are here just bothers her. And also because you are, like, representing everything that she could have been: youth, beauty or handsomeness, just intelligence, talents, gifts, and just seeing how amazing and wonderful you are, and knowing that she cannot compare to you. I'm so sorry this happened to you, but I gotta make a part two. So, how exactly can you heal and move forward from how abusive your mother was to you, for how much she favored your siblings over you, for how much she scapegoated you and made you out to be the black sheep, how she just sabotaged you, how she, you know, would barely meet your needs, would not really give you much of what you wanted, would not really pour into you and love on you, would not really teach you, would not really protect you, would, purposely do things to embarrass you or humiliate you, would purposely put you in difficult situations just to watch you be in distress. Like, watching you be in distress was very, the word I'm hearing is therapeutic, and that's interesting. Because at first I was thinking like sadistic, and in a way, like, your mother is very sadistic. Like, she does enjoy watching people suffer. But it was like watching you in distress was therapeutic for her. And that's a totally different spin on that, but I gotta go with the word. Like, it was relieving for her. It was helping her to fulfill her soul. It was helping her to satisfy her flesh. It was helping her to feel better. It was helping her to feel good about herself. Like, when we think of therapeutic, we think of like something that is very therapeutic is like going to a beach and listening to the waves and the crashing of the waters. That's therapeutic. Or going on a hike and you're just surrounded by all these beautiful green trees. Or therapeutic is like listening to some very peaceful, calming music, or lighting a candle, listening to the rain. Stuff like that is very therapeutic because it is soothing. It calms you down. It calms your nervous system. So whenever she has a very dysregulated nervous system, and by putting you in distress, that would like calm her nervous system. And this is exactly why she would, torture you so much and would abuse you so much. Like, you can recall moments where it was you and her just alone, and it could have just been you both alone, like where other siblings, the rest of the family was not at the house. Or it could have been a situation where you all were like in another room in another part of the house and the rest of your siblings were somewhere else where you were not seen and not heard. And while you're in the other room, your mother is just abusing you, torturing you. Just whatever this looks like. Like, this can look like her being verbally abusive, being mean. This can look like her just being physically abusive, hitting on you, beating on you. This can look like her, like, if you're a girl, this can look like her doing your hair, but violently and aggressively doing your hair, like forcefully combing your hair, or like burning you with the pressing comb, just like, constantly putting you in a distressing situation because she wants to see you crumble. She wanted to see you cry. She wanted to see you hurt. She really wanted to just see you be put in a situation where you were not feeling good, where you were not being treated well, because she feels such resentment towards you, because she feels like she was not treated well. This is what her mind is telling her. She feels like she was not treated well because of you. So now she has to make sure that you don't feel well, to make up for all the times that she wasn't being treated well. Let me say that again. She wants to not treat you well as payback because she feels like she was not treated well because of you. And because she lacks in emotional maturity, she wasn't able to really take ownership and accountability and responsibility for the fact that she herself got herself pregnant. And that it wasn't just her, it takes two to tango, and that it was also your father that helped her get pregnant. And instead of her taking responsibility as adults, as parents, and knowing we did the deed, we conceived this, we are pregnant, it's our fault that we got pregnant. It's not this child's fault. It's not like you just walked up inside of her stomach and got pregnant, like, and just started growing inside her womb. No, there had to have been something that, like, you had to be conceived first, and it's basically making it seem as if it's your fault that you got conceived. It's so crazy. It's mind-boggling. It's like they have been scapegoating you and blaming you since you started cooking in the oven, and it's like these people are sick. It's like, how in your right mind are you blaming the child, blaming the baby for being inside of you, when the baby didn't impregnate itself, didn't impregnate you? Y'all got pregnant. It's weird. It's weird. It's mind-boggling. But the way that you can heal and move forward from this is, one, you have to recognize and accept and know the truth of how your mother has always felt about you. Because when you know how she has always felt about you, it would allow you to detach. It will allow you to see the truth for what it is. It will allow you to accept the reality, so that you're no longer wanting and yearning for her to be something opposite of what she has been, what she will always be, because this is how she will always be. And now you know why she is the way that she is. Now you know that you're not crazy. You know that this is favoritism. You know that this is abuse. And now that you know why she has been treating you this way, when you leave and move away from her and never look back, you're going to know exactly why you are leaving, so that you feel less guilty, so that you feel less remorse. Another way is for you to continue to mother yourself and reparent yourself. And I know there's only so much that you can do, but another way for you to heal and move on is, if you are blessed and fortunate to have other motherly figures in your life that are, they could be blood relatives or they could not be blood relatives. They could just be family that's like blood. But to continue to have those people in your life, continue to build relations with those people, so that you can get that motherly love that you need. It takes a village. You know, it's the nature versus the nurture, and your mother is the nature, and you have your nurture mothers. Cherish those nurture mothers. Have those nurture mothers in your life, so that you can give that love that you are worthy of, the love that you deserve, that unconditional love. And to move on, you have to leave her behind. Leave the nest. Leave her behind, because she doesn't deserve you, baby. She does not. And once you realize that you deserve better, and you don't, and she does not deserve you, and you step into your power and realize that you don't deserve to be treated that way, you are worthy of better, you'll move forward with courage, with resilience. You also have to grieve the mother that you had and the mother that you wish that you had. Your mother put you through a lot of pain, and she put you through a lot of trauma and a lot of heartache. And it is up to you to grieve that relationship, to grieve her, to grieve all that she has done to you, all that he has done for me. I hope to just add a little bit of humor, because this is a very heavy message. I want to just lighten up the mood a little bit. But yeah, like, to allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to weep, allow yourself to cry. You know, like, sometimes what you need, baby, is all you just need is a motherly love. All you need is that motherly hug. Sometimes you just need to wrap your arms around a loving maternal figure that you trust, that you feel safe with, someone that loves you, and just lay your head on their chest, lay your head on their shoulder, and just feel that love that you need. Because sometimes all we need is a hug from a mom. It may not be your biological mom, it may not be your nature mom, but sometimes you just need a hug from a mom. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to receive the love that you've lacked growing up. That's what's going to help heal you. Also, for you to take your life back, for you to start taking control over your life, to not be codependent on her, but to be more independent and rely on yourself. Decenter your mother and make yourself as the center of your own life. Okay? Be more independent, less dependent on her. Live your life on your own terms. Do whatever it is that you want to do, what is going to make you happy. Start allowing joy and happiness and fulfillment into your life, and be so open to receiving the love that you know